I just thought I'd make a quick video just to show exactly how I'm going to tackle our overhead cab storage in the camper van, because it is a question that I see pop up quite often on social media sites. There's obviously folks out there that aren't quite sure what to do with the space above the cab, so I'm hoping that a few of them might stumble across this video, and fingers crossed it'll give them some food for thought. Now, if you've been following our channel for a decent length of time, you'll know that in one of our earlier videos we've insulated the camper van, and while we were doing that we've insulated above the cab as well. So we've stuck sheets of cork to the inner skin of the van, and then directly on top of that we've glued this radiant barrier. And admittedly, in the height of summer, it's not going to be the most efficient thing in the world because there's not an air gap behind there, but in those cold winter months when the diesel heat is working hard, that'll do a cracking job of reflecting the radiant heat back in towards the camper van. But what I intend to do is I'm going to box out this tray, because there's gaps down the front of it, there's gaps down the side, and I don't want to go putting anything up there just to have it fall down some nook and cranny and I'll never be able to get at it again. Before tackling the overcab storage area, we thought we'd first set about making the front fascia so that we could turn the area into a proper little cupboard. Out came the cardboard and I set about creating a loose template. So that's the surround all made up, and it took quite a bit of faffing to get here, but I'm there now and I'm really happy with it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer this to some 12mm ply. It's just some old board that I got left over from when we put the floor down. Right, change of plan. Because this cardboard template's so big and floppy and difficult to play with,
Matron, take them away!
I'm going to transfer this to some 3.5mm ply because I've got loads of the stuff left over, I've got no use for it. And then I'll use that template to finesse all the nooks and crannies, make sure that everything's perfect on there, cut the hole out, line up all the screws, and then once I'm happy with that template, I'll then transfer that to the 12mm ply, and job's a good one. After a bit more messing about, I finally got to a stage where I was really happy with the 3mm template, and it was just a simple case of transferring that to some 12mm ply that I had left over from the floor. With the fascia cut to shape and size, I'm going to turn my focus to sorting out the overcab storage area, and then once that's all sorted, we'll then get back to sorting out this bad boy. Out came the high temperature adhesive and I sprayed it directly onto the foil insulation. The same spray adhesive was sprayed onto some auto carpet, left for a couple of minutes for the solvent to go off, and then stuck into place. Being an old van, there's quite a bit of muck on the shelf up there, so I tackled that with a bit of sandpaper just to free up the grime and then vacuum the area clean. I then used some alcohol wipes to degrease the area, a bit more high temperature adhesive and some shenanigans with the carpet, and a short while later it was in place. My favourite tool in the whole world for applying auto carpet, the humble window scraper. To box the overcab area in, I again used cardboard to create some templates. Happy with those, again it was just a simple case of transferring that to some 3mm ply. Ply strips were glued to the inside of the inserts to pack them out and enable them to fit snug on the overcab shelf. Oh Merlin, I didn't realise you wanted to play ball, and now I feel bad for ignoring you. Once I was happy with their shape and size, I then glued carpet to them. inserts cut to shape and size and carve, so you just want to do a quick test fit up there, just to make absolutely certain that they fit nice and snug. And providing that's the case, I will then fill the void up there using some plastic bottle insulation, and I'll then glue the inserts into place using some Stixall adhesive, because once they're up there, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, it's one area of the van that we'll never need to sort of gain access to. So I think for us at least, gluing them up there permanently is the right way forward. Talking of adhesive, I just want to quickly show you guys how I intend to glue those inserts up here. Now you can see down the back end there's a nice solid fixing point. That sits at about a 90-degree angle, so I can run a bead of adhesive down there and then just stick the insert to it, no bother. But down the sides, and of course this affects both sides, it's not quite the case. That lip there is not 90 degrees, it's got a slight tilt towards the back there. And to combat that, as you've seen already, what I've done is I've applied a strip of wood just to the inside of the insert. So once we've run a bead of adhesive down there, hopefully that will be sufficient enough just to pack that out, so we get a nice solid contact with the side of that tray up there. It's probably worth mentioning that I had to add a second strip applied to the inserts, because as you can see in the video, there's still a gap there. The plastic bottle insulation that I used came from B&Q, and for that and everything else that I've used in this video, I'll throw some links down in the description below. Scarlett's always told me that these little exercise weights are coming useful, and now I know what for. I'm just using them to support the inserts while the adhesive goes off. With our focus back on the fascia, we glued some wadding to the front of it. We wanted the front of it to be soft and padded. Of course, we've never seen this ever done before, and we had no idea how it was going to turn out, but sometimes you just got to risk it for a biscuit. We popped onto eBay and we picked ourselves up some coffee bean bags. Now they're cheap and cheerful, and personally we think they're full of character and they'll look great in our van. So on that note, we're going to use one of these bad boys to cover our fascia. Because the Hessian sack has print on the one side, and because we want that to sit on a particular place on the fascia, we marked out the template on the reverse using a crayon, so when the time came to glue the two pieces together, we knew that we could align them perfectly. To make life easy for ourselves, we cut away the excess of the Hessian, and then as a team, Scarlett and I set about securing the Hessian to the rear of the fascia. Scarlett held it in place and I applied the staples, under strict instruction not to put one through a finger. Scarlett cut away the remaining excess and it was complete. I screwed in the original screws from the cab through the reverse of the fascia, being very careful not to damage the Hessian as they protruded from the front. I then unscrewed them, and while doing so I followed them through from the front using some longer screws, being very careful again not to damage the Hessian. I know it's a bit of a faff, but so close to the finish line I didn't want to go messing it up now. So there you have it guys, that's our overhead cab storage taken care of, and I can appreciate it won't be everybody's cup of tea. It's a coffee bean sack, but I'm hoping there's one or two of you out there that just like us think that it looks really nice. Some 12mm ply covered in some wadding just to pad it out, because it's inevitable at some point I'm going to end up hitting my head against this thing and I don't want to do myself any permanent damage. Finally covered in some cheap and cheerful coffee bean bags, and yeah, like I say, I'm really pleased with it. But anyway, enough about that. Moving forward, we need to get this van build complete, we need to get it finished. So in the next video I want to concentrate on getting the walls finished in the van. So if you're new around here and that's something that might interest you, then please consider subscribing so you'll know when that video comes out. And back to this video, if you've enjoyed this video or taken the slightest bit away from it, then please consider chucking us a thumbs up just to help our little channel out. And all that's left for me to say, guys, is thanks so much for watching this video, and until next time, as always, take it easy, stay safe, and fingers crossed we'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, then please give us a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more and you haven't done so already, then please consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit that notification bell down below so you know exactly when we put up a new video. Until next time, guys, take it easy, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.